Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Fremantle vs Adelaide game, in which Hayden Young had a game for the ages, an 83-point second half to climb to a 129, and I am so happy that I held him because now he's averaging basically 100, and that is a top 6 defenders, top 8 defenders. So yeah, to start him at priced at 89 or whatever to get plus 10. I know it's been rocky, but yeah, he looks back to his best, and it looks to be back to a really good role because he gets those 3 or 4 tackles, but he's also on the transition is that guy in the midfield, in the middle of the ground, in the corridor, and he gets... No one was manning him for some dumb reason. Jordan Dawson was not there, Rory Laird was not there, Matt Crouch was not there on him, and he got, I think, 4 or 5, if not 6, just easy marks through that, and that's plus 36 just there. So that is really, I'm really happy about that. As well as he got a couple of 2 or 3 run-ons where he got a handball receive out of a mark from, I think, Fife and Jackson and stuff like that. And that's how he really generated his points. But yeah, I'm really happy about Young. Sarong did his thing, but he's going to price himself out and start to drop in price eventually, and yeah, we'll pick him up post-buy, I think. But anyway, before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So, Hayden Young, 129, what a start, and yeah, just really happy about this. You can just see it here. What was it in the end? Let's just look at this. Let's go up here. And you can see here, he had 8 marks, 7 tackles. So he even had 7 tackles, which is huge. Look at those non-disposal numbers. That's absolutely huge. What's that? 24 plus 28. That is 52 points in non-disposals. And he even had 2 free kicks against, which one of them was bogus, I think. And maybe another one was even bogus as well. So, yeah, he could have easily ended up with a 130 there, which would have been absolutely huge. But, yeah, 99.7. He's going to go up now in price. He had a overall season change of minus 7k. That's going to be resurrected. He's going to be priced at roughly, now I would expect with the 24, that's going to be roughly around the, probably 818 or so. So yeah, really happy. There was 5.3k of people that traded him out. This is why you don't trade premiums, and yeah, so really happy about that. Did trade him in Supercoach, but that was because of the 165 break even, and he only went 130 in Supercoach. Yes, he did, and 130 is huge, but I'm still happy that that he went huge, and so yeah, probably we'll have to grab him back up in Supercoach in the next sort of 8 to 10 weeks, but we'll do that as he has the really good buy. But yeah, happy about that. Sarong, 118, he was absolutely huge, and yeah, 11-point first quarter, and he went nuts after that. And Young had a 16-point quarter, and he went nuts after that. He went 113 in the last 3, and Sarong in the last 3 went 107. So they were just the 2 outputs. Luke Ryan, a 112, he was absolutely huge. Going to go up in price a little bit, but I still think he is attainable. And yeah, he just got so much junk ball that yeah, a 112 was sort of easy for him, and I think he ended up with like 12 marks or something like that. So let's just go to positions here, and then just go Fremantle. That's not what I needed. Let's just go to Ryan here. That'll get it. And then just go to average. That should help it out. And you can see here that he had in the end 10 marks, not 12. 10 marks, 2 tackles, which is huge, and then the 22 kicks. So yeah, I think he can easily do even more than that as well, just because Adelaide had 10 behinds, but most teams will have 10 behinds at least. Some teams will even have more. So I reckon he could even do some more damage there. Walters had a good first half and then did nothing in the second, basically. Clark, a 97. Aish, 92. So Clark owners there, pretty happy there. That's another 32 points differential in his break even. So that's another, he's probably 750k. Jackson, 88. He did all right in getting dominated by Riley O'Brien in terms of the ruck stats. Riley O'Brien ended up with like 30 hitouts, but in a game where he didn't do much and had his what would almost be considered a poor game, to still get an 88 isn't the worst, and it was like 98 in Supercoach. So I'm not too worried about Jackson, and yes, definitely a trade out in the next couple of weeks, but yeah, against Adelaide, he didn't do his best, but then comes up against who next week? Carlton. Tom De Koning should be more even in the ruck and more ability for him to get some more hitouts. as I think Tom De Koning, although he's a good ruck, I think that Riley O'Brien is one of the best hit-out ruckmen in the comp. So Tom De Koning should be able to at least get some more touches there, which will help. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then you have Brayshaw was one of the most, I saw him a lot on the ground for an 84, so let's put it that way. Johnson's been alright, making some cash for those owners. Frederick, Amos, Hughes, Pierce, Tracy, Sharp with a 63, exactly what we needed. He was on 23 at halftime and then stepped it up in the third and the fourth. Just getting a lot of those when they switch it quickly. He seems to be the wing that's very, very open, and so he got 2 or 3 easy marks like that and ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks for the game is huge, as well as a tackle and just I think 10 or so kicks. Let's just check that quickly here. Yeah, 5 marks, 1 tackle, 13 kicks and 2 handballs, so it does his job. And then Fife as well got the goods. Didn't do enough really for those people that own him in fantasy, but did enough in Supercoach for me as he put up like a 69 on the bench. That'll be fine for the cash gen, and then just trade him out next week down to like a Sam Darcy hopefully. So that's my plan next week, as he will be for those Supercoach people, and that'll net me like 200k to start upgrade season the week after. Banfield, Walker, Switkowski, Draper, Taberner, O'Meara, and Merritt. No one really noticeable. Laird, 102. And that's the thing, their midfield is so stale, Adelaide. It is almost one of the worst in the comps. Because you have Riley O'Brien, who really isn't a mobile ruck. You've got Rory Laird, who isn't really breaking lines or anything. You've got Jordan Dawson, who's off with his kicking and doesn't really show that explosiveness at the moment. Matt Crouch is the same as Rory Laird 2.0. And then you had Sam Berry in there, who's like a 3.0 of Rory Laird. And the other guys, they're not using Rankin or Rochelle or anyone in the midfield, it looks like. So that midfield is just so stale, and their clearances, they get the clearance, but then it's just a hat kick, and it's so... The amount of times that they'd hat kick it go in front of the key forwards, and then like a Jordan Clark would just run on in open space and pick up the ball after it hit the ground. It happened at least 2 or 3 times, as well as other defenders doing the exact same thing, and then they just kick it out to a winger, and then Freo would be on the attack. So their midfield is just not... Their clearance to scoring ratio is just off, and it is something needs to change in that midfield. And I just looked at I know this is fixture, and it isn't necessarily anything, but Matt Crouch came back in, and they've won 2 of 9 games, and one of them was against West Coast. The other one was a derby game against Port, but other than that, they haven't really done anything, and I know that they were a lot of close losses last year. But then again, they've lost, I think, 2 times in that span to Gold Coast, and I think they've also lost, they've lost to Freo here, they've lost to many other teams, and Melbourne, I think they've lost to Melbourne as well, so they've lost to teams around them that you would expect to be if they were a big side, and yeah, they need to change something, or it's almost at the point where you start to play the kids. They're 0-3 or whatever, and they have, let's just check that is the VFL that I need to check up on. Where is Adelaide? I don't have any Adelaide players, I don't think. Let's check, just Dawson should grab up and look at their run next. They've got Melbourne, that's going to be a struggle. Carlton, that's going to be a struggle. Bombers, they could win that. Then they have North, they could win that. But then they've got Port, Brisbane, Collingwood. They could legitimately be, after 10 rounds, they could be 4, 5, 6, 7. They could be 2-8 after 10 rounds. Season over, basically. I mean, admittedly, they do have this run here where they could win 3 games there. But then they have the Swans, Giants. I reckon their season could honestly be over by round 16. Adelaide, their season could be over where they are 5 and 11. I think they'd be. And their season is effectively over. So yeah, I don't know about that, the way their midfield is going. I don't think it's working, so I think they need to change something out. And I do think it is Matt Crouch that is stalling them. I know people will be like, but it's Rory Laird, Matt Crouch is playing good. He's having like he's having like 8 kicks and 200 meters gained. That is not. He's having 8.8 meters gained or 9. He's a 9 meters gained per disposal, whereas the Freo midfield was about 15. And Rory Laird, and also it seems like it's impacting Rory Laird and Dawson. They're both going down in their terms of their output and their efficiency by bringing in Crouch. So I think you need to, although Crouch is a great player and does play the role well, the midfield is moving on from just, oh yeah, you need a 15 contested ball midfielder. You need someone, if you're going to be that contested ball guy, you need to be that 8 or 9 tackles. And look at, he basically played a similar role to Hayden Young, and look how Hayden Young did that. 8 marks, 7 tackles. I didn't see Crouch lay 4, I think. 3 maybe. So yeah, I just think that Crouch is a midfielder of the past that you're trying to shepherd in, similar to that of a Jack McRae, honestly, with the Western Bulldogs, that they're midfielders of the past and they shouldn't be playing pure on ball. I think he's just not right for the Adelaide mix with Roy Laird, who I think is a better player than him. Brody Smith, 86, Shoal, McElhaney, Keys, Hinge, Rankin as well, just 71 again, just not there. Worrell, Saligo, Riley O'Brien, 57, but 30 of those were hitouts, and he's not really obviously going to be a fantasy relevant player. But then again, he just gets hitouts, but they're just hitouts to, for all the hitout dominance that he had against Jackson, he went at the same hitout to advantage ratio, or roughly within about a percentage or two to Jackson. So just shows, I think, that he's not really doing too much with it. Borlass, McHenry, Millerer, Burgess as well. We saw with the, we talked about Dersma in the previous video. Burgess went plus 17. And with a better break even and a lower initial starting price, he'll gain a lot more. Rochelle, Fogarty, Walker, Pedler, and Murphy. So that is basically the video there going through the Freo versus Adelaide game. And what a boring game it was. It was just one of the worst as a neutral to watch, to be honest with you. I was just happy that my fantasy guys were doing all right. And yeah, so I ended up with Young and also Luke Jackson out of this game. And I had 5 Finn Supercoach as well. So that was about it for this game. I don't think I have any Adelaide players across Supercoach and Fantasy at the moment, just because they're playing bad. They're not getting the split that they want. And also I suspect they have to change something. So I'm not touching that midfield mix until I see what the role is. So that is the plan with me. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys in the next review tomorrow, which will be we will have the 2 games tomorrow, and then you'll have the 2 games on 2 games reviewed on the Monday, and then 1 on the Tuesday, and that'll be that, as well as probably a round review on the Tuesday as well, and just trying to fix up that, because there may be a logjam now that we played, now that we have the one on the Monday, that is being 1 game on the Monday being played, but I'll try and figure out the schedule there. But it's not too bad. I'm already caught up on all of them, so it's not like I'm behind anyway, and I can easily catch up because there's only 2 games being played, etc. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video, and that'll be the St Kilda game that starts in about 4 hours or so. But anyway, I'll see you guys in that video. Bye, guys.